just going back to what we said before we started, is it good to drink lots of espresso?
I don't know if it's good. We don't know what's good, what's bad. that's my like life motto. Someone tells me like, oh, it's bad. It's like, that's kind of judgmental. How can I know if something is bad or if something is good? I need to experience. There is a I've heard a very interesting statement. Go around and you'll find out. Yeah.
Right.
But people take it like negative. They when you heard that F word, they instantly think that it must be something bad because there was F word. But actually, when you think about it, what does it mean? It purely means have fun in your life, experience variety of things, and you will find out.
Find out what's good for you, what's bad.
Exactly.
What works for you, and what doesn't.
It's that simple, and you will also find out how it works on your environment, whether you bother about it or not.
Yeah, I hear that. I just realised, do you want to have the blinds up or down?
It's a nice weather, nice sun, but we can dim it a little bit. Yeah, I'm still...
Usually we have them down, don't we?
Yeah. The camera get brighter. Yeah, we can...
Oh yeah, and we have some lights on as well, don't we?
Thanks to that, we have... oh yeah, I forgot that we can make a light.
We've got all this equipment in our studio.
Yeah.
The only downside is it puts shadows in the background.
It doesn't really matter because the most important what I've learned so far is to make ourselves visible.
That's it.
I've even seen some videos where guys advising like you can have like ambient light somewhere from the floor, on the wall.
Head torch.
Yeah, I have a nice photo wallpaper to put on that wall.
Yes, which you've been saying since day one.
Yeah, but I also been thinking about some acoustic insulation because, well, this room is like there's not much on the walls.
No, I think the ghetto way of doing it is to put egg boxes on the walls.
Oh no, they are terrible. When I was playing in the rock bands back in time when I was a teenager in my 20s, I've been playing in plenty of rooms with those eggs things, and it makes there is no echo, so
that's good.
But the sound is like
dull.
Yes, it's not nice. I like so you see the reason why I like this microphone is condenser microphone.
Looks good.
Well, first of all, it gives us possibility that we can record on one mic. It's not the best, but we'll get there. It picks up everything, and it sounds like quite wide. Where dynamic microphones, you have to speak very, very directly to it.
Oh, I see.
And very close. It doesn't pick the environment as much, and the sound is like more bassy, more dull. I don't like it somehow. I like that high frequencies.
Crisp.
Yes.
Right.
So I'll basically get the same one.
Yeah. So you'd have two, of course.
We'll have them closer to our mouths.
Really? Yeah. Sounds good.
Well, the front is here. We should be talking to this direction. But anyway, it's just a technical. So why we were off for so long? Because it's been like a month now.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I guess from my side, to a number of reasons. One would be I've not been as regimented with my routine.
Mm-hmm.
Let my routine slip. A couple of poor Friday nights, which means that I'm not really up for it on Saturday morning.
No worries.
And this is no worries. It is a worry. You should always be disciplined. Do you know who Jocko Willink is?
No.
Well, anyway, he's got a podcast, and he's a former U.S. Navy SEAL, so American Special Forces, and he says, you just got to be disciplined, even if you don't want to do something. If it needs to be done, it gets done. So.
Well, yes, that's correct. But you know what I've noticed? Sometimes you start something new, like we started podcast, from scratch, without preparation, without nothing, and we thought ourselves like, oh, make it uncut. That will make it cool and stuff like this. But the
authentic.
second, yes, there is a lot of benefits of that. But on the other side, it saves a lot of time on editing and stuff like this as well. So it's kind of lazy, we could say.
Yes.
But I like that formula because it's more natural, uncut. You know, you sometimes you're watching podcasts and you see people, you know, talking and you see that, you know, head went from that to that, you know, because it's been cut.
Yeah, it's been cut.
Because
which we don't have that.
We don't have that. Yeah.
No,
and
good.
I doubt if we'll have, because I actually want to go head towards like live streams and stuff like this.
Live streams.
Yeah, that will be more interesting, and you know that will increase our credibility as well, because it's uncut. You can't cut on live.
So talk to me about it. Why a live stream why will it increase our credibility?
Because you can't cut.
Okay.
Here now it's pre-recorded. Someone may say, "Oh, you definitely cut something."
But we know we haven't though.
I'm putting logo on the front and logo at the end of the recording, you know, and maybe I'm trimming a little bit, maybe a few seconds, you know, when I'm leaning towards the computer, you know.
And this live stream, we're expecting people to watch it, of course, live.
Yeah, they will get tuned to our timing.
Right.
Yeah, so going back to the theory, it's like, you know, you're starting something from scratch, and you're pushing, and suddenly get tired, and you know, and then you letting go for a you know, that's the moment which is very critical. If you want to push yourself to get back to that routine will be lost.
That's when you find out how much you really want it, whether it was just a flash in the pan idea.
Yes. Yeah, so I've noticed that this is a natural, like people go to the gym, they're going hard for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you know, and then they disappears. But if they go back, they will remain there, you know.
If they go back to the gym, then they end up staying there.
Yeah. Some people say like that creating a new habit, a new routine takes about 21 days. I don't know why 21. It's basically 3 weeks. But it depends what you do. If it's daily routine, probably it makes sense. If it's like a weekly routine, like with our podcast, well, I don't know. Maybe it takes 3 months.
It's interesting that, because I've heard 21 days, 28 days, 66 days was another one that I heard a lot. But I've learned this: it doesn't matter how long it takes to build a routine. So, for example, getting out of bed early, I can get out of bed early, and let's say 4 a.m. for 3 weeks in a row. Okay, so that's what, 21 days, yeah? 21 days, including Sundays, get out of bed at 4 a.m. All it takes is one late night, and it throws that routine out the window.
Yeah.
You know?
If we're talking about early morning, it's kind of disturbing if you do yourself one night.
Yeah. So does it really take X amount of time to build a routine? Or is it more to do with the routine's already there, it just depends how disciplined you are?
Yeah, also, because, you know, even if you have late night, you go to bed like 1, 2 a.m., if you set yourself an alarm for, I'm giving myself 8 hours of sleep or 9 hours, you know, you plan ahead, like, depends on how you feel when you're going to sleep.
Do you know what the best thing for me is? Because my work that I'm doing now, I start at about 6 in the morning. And I like to have a morning routine. I don't like to be up and rushing about and rushing out of the house. I like to be able to ease into the morning and get, before I leave the house. When you go to bed early and you're consistently getting up at the same time, you can get up. You start waking up before your alarm clock goes off. And that is the most natural way to wake up. Because who wants to wake up to an alarm going off? You start in the day in panic mode.
Yeah. But that's kind of annoying. You mentioned about waking before alarm. Like you wake up and you're checking like, it's you know, you think to yourself like, I'll flip on the other side and I'll fall asleep again, you know. But then you noticing like, alarm will kick in 5 minutes. Okay, fair enough. Switch it off, you know.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's the way forward.
But you see, you have to be committed to that because it requires you to not have nights out. And even if you go out, 9, 10 p.m. you have to go back home,
Yeah.
because you know your routine. You know you have to wake up at 5, at 6, whichever you prefer. So I met a lot of people that they have that kind of routine that that no matter how good the party is, 9 p.m. They're going back. If it's in a hotel, they're going to their hotel room and that's it. They're leaving the party. That's it. They have their own priorities. It's like it's been pleasure. They're starting party earlier. So you can still party. Like close parties. Yeah. But if you're running your life like you joining the public party.
Going out around town
in the club, they open 8, 9, 10 p.m. Some of them. Well, then, if you want to live that life, you just wake up later. Just shifting your timing. But from what I've learned in my life, it's like the best time to sleep, to have that deep sleep, between 10 and 1, maybe 2.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Really, yeah.
When you get yourself like a smartwatch or something that will monitor your sleep, you will notice that you kind of feel the best if you go to sleep when it's getting dark.
Of course, because that's natural, right?
Yeah. That's when your brain produces melatonin, and that's when you get sleepy. Yeah? Sometimes you go on a party and you feel like, I need some alcohol, because that will wake me up, or Coke, a lot of caffeine, or maybe espresso or something.
Oh right, I thought you meant cocaine.
So you're breaking that pattern. You basically calling your brain to wake up.
Stimulating the brain.
Yes. It's not natural, and in the long run, I know there are people that live like that. They have a lavish lifestyle.
Hustle, right? It's that hustle mode.
Yeah. Well,
is it sustainable though?
I've never tried it. I don't even want to.
The best thing that when you talk about people who live that lifestyle, that live like that, have that lavish lifestyle, is that what you see on social media?
I think that's. There is a few people like that. Some of them are really, really famous, but we don't really see their entire life.
You only see the highlights. You see the best bits. Exactly. Whoever posts the worst bits of their life online, they don't.
So let's say you're well, the best example that comes to my mind is Tate Brothers. Yeah. So I follow their social media on Rumble, and they're running podcast. And according to this, it looks like they work hard entire week, and maybe they have 1-2 nights out, a week. It depends on the season. Now they've been flying around the world,
Back in America, aren't they?
Spending a lot of time, on the partying and stuff like this. People think that people assume that they party, but actually for them it's like a meeting.
Networking.
Exactly. So that's
they live that life, don't they?
That's the difference. So if you live life, if you get to the point where you live your life like this, probably you will just shift that sleeping slot later on. So you wake up 9, 10-ish, and 9, 10 will be equivalent of your 5, 6 a.m. Anyway.
What job are they? What's the easiest way to get into Dubai, work-wise?
Well, through networking, I think. I'm following following a guy on YouTube. I've seen one video yesterday. Charlie Morgan. Yeah, he's from UK. He recently came back to UK after 2 years he spent in Dubai, and he recorded like 20 minutes video about it. Why he moved out from Dubai. Yeah. Where he was living on the Palm Beach,
Why did he move?
He's a young bloke, and he's really rich, He started as he got to the point where he started running. He became SMMA agency owner, which is social media marketing agency, and he was running this. He got to like 6-figure income. And then he switched it. He started guiding people doing those type of agencies, and he started guiding them and training them how to scale up from $2 grand to 20 grand a month, etc., etc. And he scaled his income to like 7 figures. And he was talking that in Dubai, He moved there because of taxation, because you have zero income tax, etc., etc. But you still have corporate tax over there, which is still less than in UK. But yeah, he basically he made a huge. He put a huge amount of information into that video. It was only 20 minutes, but he said everything you need to know about it. And I wasn't even aware that, for example, the biggest issue about Dubai is the summertime. The only issue I was aware of is the temperatures. I don't like hot temperatures. So the lifestyle is like, you going from your apartment, which is air conditioned, you pop into the car, to taxi usually, sorry, which is air conditioned. You go, so you don't really live outside because it's like 50, 55 degrees during the summertime. But he mentioned something interesting, that the air quality is really poor. It's
outside.
Yes, if you look on the top 10 of the cities with the poorest air quality, Dubai is in top 10.
And why has it got such poor air quality?
Well, it's a desert, first of all.
Right.
There is no. So you see in China, for example,
I can understand China.
They have a lot of factories, a lot of pollution because of that. In Dubai, you don't have factories. It's too hot.
You think it'd be quite. You think it'd be a natural environment?
I think so. I think there is a lot of particles like from the desert and stuff like this. It's windy, it's hot, but also you see there are like V10, V12, W12, W16 engines, all the way around, all over the city, and that is also adding pollution, But I'll be honest with you, I'd rather drive after V12 Ferrari in UK rather than after 2-liter diesel, that leaves the black smoke behind. And I don't know how come these cars are even passed through MOT in this country. Honestly, it's like it's insane. And if you drive after diesel, like a 10-year-old diesel, you can feel like the particles.
What, when you sat in the driver's seat?
When you're driving after the car,
after the car.
Yes. So that's insane, They live in like a dark cloud and they're not even moving, and people getting excited about these diesels, I spoke with many.
Diesels are done. It's over.
I had one diesel in my life and I said no more.
It's just a dirty car.
Yeah, it's stinking. So when my kids were little, and I always park reverse.
Of course.
For my own safety, actually. Well, it's more practical for
me.
It's
just easier to get out.
Yeah. So there's a lot of pros for that, and it's easier to park when you finally get to that, that park in reverse. It's much easier than
going nose in.
Yeah, it's much easier. Way less chance for you to hit something. Or scratch your bumper.
Yeah.
Because you
the way you turn.
Yeah. Especially with the modern car where you have reverse camera plus 2 mirrors,
I agree.
Perfect. Once I've learned, I also trained my wife into that, and she had to park somewhere in front, and one day, and she told me, how difficult it was. I know, that's why I teach you to reverse park. It's critical,
Yeah, I agree, mate.
It's very good. So basically, going back, when I had diesel, it was like minivan. Kids were little, but not tiny anymore, not newborns anymore. But it was practical for us, that car was higher, and you just put your kids to the car, So in the winter, I was turning ignition on to warm up the cabin. There was no preheater and stuff like this, and the fumes were really terrible. It was smelling an entire house.
Wow.
Because the rear of the car was facing the house. Honestly, it's terrible. Petrol car, it also gives you fumes. When it's cold, you have the engine is cold, so the fumes are different. You can smell the fuel, the petrol.
But you like electric?
I prefer electric. They are more practical,
What
especially in a country like this.
What happens if you want to have a loud exhaust?
loud exhaust.
Yeah.
I actually had. Yeah, I had. When we moved into this house, the neighbor have Audi A S4, S4, yeah, and that was like loud. It's straight behind that
Yeah,
wall,
I've
you
seen
know.
it, yeah.
When he turned it on, it was everything was shaking, you know. I mean, not shaking, not like diesel, but you could hear that exhaust, and it was like. It's very quiet here. You wake up in the morning and you can hear birds singing.
I love that.
Really beautiful to live.
It is.
And some guy like that turns on that he's
It disturbs the peace.
Yeah, it's like wow, that's normally I wouldn't pay attention to that, but in here it's so quiet. And the new neighbors they came yesterday and I've noticed car getting in when we were getting out for shopping yesterday. And there was that new electric Toyota, and I was curious, like, are they get lost or are they going to visit someone, because I've never seen that car before here. But when we came back, they were parked in that house because the neighbors they moved out to a smaller house. Kids are grown; they don't need a big house anymore. And the new neighbors came in, so that will be pretty quiet.
Yeah,
because
it's
they
cool.
also have electric cars. I'm not a fan of electric cars, but I like all sort of things, you know. I think diesels are good for trucks, for pickups, for big vehicles. They are very efficient. And electric cars are very good commuters. Like the first EV I bought myself, you know, when I was commuting like 70, 80 miles a day, back and forth, and that was perfectly enough for me. I was charging every night. So every morning I had a full battery. So.
And that's all you were using, no fuel. It was just
Yeah. And back then it was like 6-7 times cheaper than a hybrid car. Deal for me. Later on they put in the place where I used to work, and they put some charging slots, and it was and we could charge for free eventually. It was like employees benefit. So I wasn't saving a lot of money, but you see, when I started working over there, I figured out that was the reason why I sold that diesel van, because I said we no longer need it. Kids are big enough to get into the car themselves. So I thought to myself, compact EV will do the job. So after first couple of weeks, I figured out that just the fuel diesel will cost me like 450, 500 quid a month. And I thought to myself, like that's insane. And I started doing calculations. So you see, the reason I made that decision is because it was beneficial. Because let's say I was spending, okay, let's stick to the 400 quid, okay? So 400 quid I spend regularly every month on the petrol station, yeah. And I took that money away from the petrol station, and I put that into a lease company. So compact car, they charged me $366 a month back then, with a huge mileage cap, 15,000 a year. That was suitable for me, with maintenance of everything. So technically, people say like, oh, but the car is not yours. It's like, why would you want to own a car that depreciate? It's like, this is stupid, you know. People don't think like that. Like, let's say you buy cash, you know, you pay 30 grand. Where is your 30 grand? Well, I bought the car, I'm driving 30 grand car. Well, yeah, but imagine yourself, you take a lease. You pay one monthly fee up front, so you don't even pay any up front. Yes, it's higher monthly rate, but still you don't pay up front. You're not freezing cash. So let's say you have 30k in your bank account. This is very interesting formula. You have 30 grand. You get yourself a lease car, 3-4 years, let's say, because that's the best deals. It car depreciates the most in the first 2 years, let's say, or after a first year if it's EV. And you spread that cost over. Well, let's get to the point. So you have 30 grand. You get yourself, I don't know, 350 a month EV car, or you charge at home. Monthly it costs you if you have night tariff, which isn't a big deal nowadays, it will cost you, I don't know, 50 quid a month to drive all the way, all entire month, yeah. And so where is your 30 grand now? In your pocket, yeah,
Right.
because you didn't spend that money
On that car, yeah.
and you pay monthly, and you don't own the car. It's not yours, so it's
Yeah.
not your problem, yeah. If something goes wrong, what you can do with that 30 grand now? You can invest.
Invest, yeah.
Exactly. But most people that I met in my life, they are very narrow-minded. They would rather put that money
Oh God, I've done that.
and spend on the car. It's like I was doing similar, but when I get to the point that actually brand new lease car is cheaper monthly than 10-year-old diesel, for example, it's like, because look, so I had that minivan, 400 just the fuel, plus, let's exclude the insurance, because you have to insure lease car and you have to insure if you own a car, yeah? But so let's exclude that. So if you have like so you have maintenance costs, regular stuff, yeah. You have breakdowns, etc., etc. So when I summed it up, last 2 years, and my average monthly cost, was about 650 quid, and a brand new car monthly fee was 366. On top of that, it was costing me £50 a month of extra electricity when I was charging overnight. So altogether, it's like 416 versus 650.
Yeah.
Come on, brand new car on. You have warranty. You have maintenance pack included. If you exclude it, monthly will be even cheaper. You see where I'm heading?
I do, yeah. Yes,
there are some other benefits, like you see. I could actually talk about red pill for hours. You know that, and I'm in the groups, red pill, MGTOW groups, etc., etc. And all these dudes makes me laugh. They are focused on the problem. It's like, yeah, but getting married is pointless nowadays. Blah 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 blah. I said, look, you can safely get married. Yeah, but you will still have to pay.
You put all the prenup
alimony. I said, well, yeah, even if you will have child without marriage, you will still have to pay alimony. Yeah.
Right.
So that's normal if you have kids.
And what is alimony?
But like you pay like a kid's child maintenance.
Oh,
that's
right.
how we call it in
and
UK.
you pay that in this country as well, yeah.
Yes, it's your
Just
child.
goes to show.
If it's proven that you have a child.
What happens if you can't afford it though?
Well, it depends on how much you're earning. Yeah.
What happens if you're on benefits? Does some of your benefits go to?
Well, then the country will. Well, let's not talk about that because it's pointless. But you see,
Why is it pointless?
Because that wasn't the point where I'm heading. So these dudes, they talking about, that women are this, women are that. Blah, blah, blah. I said dudes are the same. I'm not on on any of these sides. It's like I'm telling you the middle ground, and they're still trying to criticize me. And it's like, look, you can safely get married, And but if she wants to go, if she will cheat on me, she will take everything away. So don't own anything.
Okay.
If you don't own anything, nothing can be taken away from you.
So how do you acquire something then? How do you have
like
it?
I say, your value is here, yeah.
Right.
Your mind is your value. Even rich people, ultra wealthy people.
Okay.
We've mentioned about Tate Brothers.
Well, hang on. What about where you're gonna live?
Well, you're still going to work. You still having
where
an
do you
income.
live? Where do you live?
You're renting the house.
So you don't own a house?
Yeah.
So you rent it?
Yeah. Look, if you own the house, if you took a mortgage like most people do in this country,
right?
Technically it's yours, even if there is a mortgage. Yeah.
Right.
It can be taken away if you stop paying mortgage. But you're not gonna do it because you already paid like 200, 300 grand. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't want to lose that,
No,
so you
so
will
you pay
keep
the
paying.
mortgage.
But if you're married and you want to get divorced, that will be taken away from you, because
Look, what about property appreciation though? So, for example, you move into a house, and if you own it,
And that's another common mistake. You see, most people are dumb. They say that, oh yeah, I'd rather purchase house than rent because eventually it will be mine, and basically it's an investment.
right?
And that triggers me. Like, hold on. If you will be living in there, this is not an investment. How can you make money of it if you live in there?
Okay, look, let's say you move into a house, okay, and you buy it, and you buy it for 100 grand, okay, regardless of the mortgage.
100 grand. Where?
But no, I'm just using that to keep my maths simple.
Okay, keep it simple. Okay,
Yeah.
100k.
Okay, so let's say the property costs you 100k. Forget about the mortgage, whether you put a deposit down and got the rest on mortgage, but it's 100k. 10 years from now, it's appreciated by 50%. So it's now worth 150 grand. Yeah?
It used to be like that, okay.
Okay. But if you've been renting it for 10 years, you don't have an extra 50 grand in the property, do you?
But if you live in there, you still don't have that extra 50 grand.
But if you sold it, then you'd be able to get that 50 grand. Or you could pull the money out if you wanted to.
Question. Is it appreciation
Yeah.
or is it just remain a value according to the value of the currency of the country that you live in?
I got a clue.
So that's the thing. So you see, that's another thing that we could debate on. People don't understand that houses doesn't really appreciate. It just shows you how much devaluated the currency is.
Maybe.
And you cannot see it when you do your grocery, because they have a lot of mechanisms to cover that. You know that something like I don't know, a chocolate bar. It's 100 grams, yeah, and it used to cost you, let's say, £2, yeah. Let's say a good quality chocolate, yeah, £2 for 100 grams. And after all that, let's say in the 5 years, the price didn't change. Someone say that. So there is no price change. So people don't see straight away that the money devaluated, yeah, that there was inflation. But how is that possible that companies doesn't show that inflation? Yeah, they cutting down from 100 to 90. They changing recipe. They using cheaper ingredients, etc., etc.
Yeah.
They sourcing different suppliers to, I don't know, for a packaging, for a wrapping, you know. They reducing, let's say if there's like that silver foil inside, they making it thinner, for example, etc., etc., etc. I used to work in manufacturing, so I know how you decrease the cost of manufacturing.
Of course, yeah.
There is so many mechanisms, so you can play for 5, 10, 15, 20 years without changing the price effectively.
Right, I see.
You can cut the cost down significantly, and that's why people don't see. But you cannot do it with the house that is already built. That's why you have impression that the house cost goes up and up and up, that the value of the house goes up and up and up. But no, it actually shows you how much value the currency lost. So let's say 10 years ago the house was 100k. The same house today, after 10 years, it's 200k. Yeah, that's just an example. How come it cost the value of the house doubled? Well, other words, the tenor turned into fiver.
Right.
So the fiver from 10 years ago,
It's now
it's equal to tenor from today, but people don't notice that.
Or supply and demand. More people in the country, not enough homes. Therefore, the homes that you do have.
That's another aspect. Yes.
increase in value.
I'm just trying to stick to supply demand is also critical. Yes, but I'm trying to show you that the aspect that nobody's talking about, because you see they will always tell you the thing that is most comfortable for them,
Of course.
not for you.
Of course.
They're always trying to hide the information that actually money devaluated significantly because we've been printing like mad.
Oh my God.
There was, what was in the last 5 years? They were printing like crazy all the time. Printer was hot.
Printer was on go.
I mean, printer, because they're not printing like physically from the printer, they
Well, it's digital, isn't it?
Well,
Just chuck some
yeah.
zeros.
They just adding zeros to the like if you check for that.
Oh God, it frustrates
The
me.
information must be available.
What time are we on? Did you vote in these
Why?
council elections? Oh, so that's a no.
It's BS. I don't.
Oh right, it's BS.
Last time I voted 20 years ago, maybe.
Right.
And I felt betrayed. Like, well, that was back in Poland, you know, and and I thought to myself, no, there was a situation like two new parties became very strong, and they were both right wing, yeah.
And did you vote?
And I voted for one of them because one of them was they were showing themselves as a right wing,
yeah.
but
They turned out to be left.
But I've gone through their plan, what they want to do.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, that's kind of
Left wing.
yes. I had that left wing impression, and also I thought to myself like, how did they manage with that plan to be classed as a right wing? It's like it's stupid, you know. So I was voting for the other one. And they were also stating that it doesn't matter which one will win because they were going both head to head, and they both win. They said, "Oh, we'll make a coalition and we'll make it better." And then there was no coalition. There was war, as it used to be, political war. And I thought to myself, "Hold on. So we did all that massive, dramatic political change in 2005
in
Poland." And it changed absolutely nothing. They carried on doing exactly the same what socialists used to do.
And Poland's known as being one of the safest countries in Europe, though, right?
Oh, marketing.
Well, so you don't think it is safe?
It depends.
Well, they're saying they don't have any illegal immigration.
Look, it depends what do you class as a feeling safe, you know, because it's just a feeling. It's just a marketing in marketing.
Okay, I'll tell you what feeling safe means. I'll tell you what. Okay. Well, what do I class as feeling safe? 0 illegal migration, and that's what they're claiming.
Well, you can very quickly turn illegal into legal, and that's and some Polish politicians get how do you call when they've been caught?
Oh, red-handed.
Red-handed, yeah. They've been red-handed. There were a lot of people illegal. At the point when they arrived, they were legalized very quickly by political institutions, and the same people that they were. I'm not following politics, but I've just seen one case where a guy lose his case, one of the politicians, that he's actually he applied for presidency in Poland, so they will be voting soon in Poland.
Is it Dominic Tarczynski?
No. Kaczynski. That's a fake name, by the way. They changed it.
He changed his name.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, let's ignore that because we're entering into conspiracy theories, and I don't want to dive into that. The thing is, one of those guys that applied that starts for a presidency, you know, he's been accused that he was calling another candidate that he's supporting illegal immigrants in Poland, and the other guy now had to pay some fine and publish some excuse that that his claim wasn't true. Why? Because at the time when he made that claim that he supports, that he makes himself photographed with illegal immigrants in Poland, actually that was the day when they made that photo, that was the day when they were legalized. Oh. And that other candidate didn't know about it.
Yeah.
So he lost, not that because his claim was wrong, he lost because at the day of photograph they were no longer illegals. Can you imagine that?
Right.
So you see, what we hear about Poland in UK, it's a lot of BS.
Really interesting.
A lot.
Well, it seems we both said the same word there, BS. Should we wrap it up on that? Because
Yeah.
I have to get off.
Let's keep it simple. We've been talking for like an hour. Yeah. So I hope that So we're going back to podcasting. We're making it more like emotional, triggering. We've started talking about interesting things, but it looks like most people don't really catching on that, based on statistics. So we'll be talking a little bit more about our views into politics.
Well, just having a conversation, seeing where it takes us. We can always mix it up. One day have a conversation, just general chit chat, and the next day the next time.
So today is just a general chit chat. We'll see how it works. Maybe I'll prepare some short videos of that. I will cut something interesting from that. Maybe we'll see. I'll gain some new skills, editing skills.
That's it, mate.
We'll see how it goes.
Right,
anyway, let's not make it boring. We'll carry on every week, maybe every weekend. We'll see.
Well, that's it. No matter what. Well, we're still going. So
get back to routine.
That's it, mate.
It's been a pleasure to see you back.
Same to you. Respect.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for watching.